scrape to the beat. That would be cool.
You need to add in your basement, or in your basement.
That's true.
Because I think we're all in our basement.
Hello. Welcome everybody to Old Gray Bricks. There's Jason right there. Coming in right at the last minute. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Old Gray Bricks Messy Monday. We are all experiencing con hangover, con crud, or just being tired from con. We had a great weekend, though. Brick Bunny's TV, who was at the con, in the chat there. Good evening. Entertainingly lame. It is good to see you here again. Bringing up Brad, who should have been at the con, but was not. Hello, Tim Deering. How you doing, man? Good to see you. Howdy, everybody. All right, awesome. How are y'all doing?
Why you're like? Was this your Matthew McConaughey impression?
Howdy. All right. Anyway.
All right.
Start doing the chest bump and everything. All right.
Please leave your shirt on.
I will. Trust me. You don't want this.
No, I don't. Nobody does.
I would increase the surface reflectivity of the surface of the Earth by tenfold if I did. So
We are pleased that Mel tolerates you, and that's.
I had to make sure not to trip over the Lego that I had set on the floor to create space so that Van Winden could walk around in the guest room. And this morning, Thomas is like, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm removing the foot entrapment obstacles."
That's awesome.
Oh, me. Oh, it was, hey, Intense is here. Brick Dudes is here. GLS is here. Glad you folks are jumping in here. And so if I need a Motel 6, I will let y'all know.
Okay.
But anyway, there has been times when we've even had guests in North Carolina. A certain individual Mark knows very well.
I have heard this story.
Yeah. So that thing that happened.
You're a cruel man. That's all I'm going to say.
But it was the best. It's like, this is the dank of nerd. It is just what you live with. It's how it is.
Honestly, I did not detect this as being a significant problem. So maybe you were just really lucky in who you encountered.
It's a luck of the draw or lack thereof.
It did come and go.
Yeah.
There were better times and worse times.
It depends on the prevailing winds.
Whether the heat or air is running or not. So
it was an interesting weather weekend where the first day the big door was open and everyone was bringing stuff in, and it was almost jacket weather, but not quite. And then once it hit like 1 o'clock on Saturday, and it was like wall to wall people, and I was like, I'm going to start sweating here in a minute.
Props to Jason for being smart and wearing shorts. Because I was on the fence Saturday morning. I'm like, do I wear shorts? Do I not wear shorts? And then I was like, I'm not going to bother with it. Yeah, Jason.
Shorts and a t-shirt all the way.
Wait, who let that in?
We'll blame.
I saw Brad in the chat, so I shot him the invite.
Yeah, it was actually last week's invite, but it's fine.
We got it figured.
Well,
hey,
okay.
Brad posted a space TikTok.
Oh, if you think that's cool, you should see what I got in the works right now.
I just the iceberg.
Yeah,
right?
I just took a break from editing so I could come actually build some space stuff with you guys. Because I got a giant lot of Alien Conquest stuff that actually, Dana, this was the one I was telling you about.
Yes.
And I kind of been wanting to build all of it. And I was like, what better time than come on with the space dudes?
That is a perfect time. I actually got that set at Atlanta Brink Company not that long ago, but it is still sitting in the basement because I have yet to. That's in my pile of still be built. But yes,
I have a question for you, Mr. Bricking Up.
Yes.
When will we get Friends lore? Kazera's friends lore.
After I do Space, Castle, and Pirates, and all other original themes, and then after I do Bionicle, we'll do Friends.
No. Friends deserves to become before Bionicle.
I would rather tackle Bionicle lore, which I already like in my back of my mind am scared to tackle, than tackle Friends lore.
It's hilarious though. It's so hilarious. Like they physically change in when was the reboot? Was it 2016 or 2018 where they rebooted them? And all of a sudden 4 of them now look completely different. But poor Stephanie, she never gets a new hairpiece. She got a hat with a hair finally in the last wave, and that was it. Poor Stephanie.
Such drama.
No, I got an angry emote. Somebody angered me on Facebook. The only person I know maybe watching on Facebook is Andrew, so he may be mad. I'm sorry. I don't know what I did. Hey, look, there's Martin's in the chat. Hello, Martin. Martin! Are we functioning? That is an excellent way to put that.
Functioning.
Diet Coke.
Our favorite Alabamian.
Yeah.
Diet Coke.
Yes.
Not
Six
tea, not the
espressos.
Queen's tea. That's how we're functioning.
That's how we're functioning.
That's Andrew Sada is here as well. Hello. All right.
I just want
Go
to take a moment. Shout out to Mr. Sada who friended me. And you know how you're in the olden times when people drove around in their car and listened to radio, and you'd like listen to this person, and then like you go to an event with the radio DJ was actually at the event, and the person would look nothing like you imagined. That happened to me with Mr. Sada. Like, I don't know. He was just the person that always chatted in our chat. And then one day I saw him, either he friended me or, I don't remember which way, but he popped up as like a suggestion or was requested. I'm like, it's not at all how I imagine Andrew Sada looking, but apparently that is how he looks. So I was like,
but his picture is his avatar
on Bricks and Beer.
No, right over there.
right on the left side of your
I'm
screen.
talking about Bricks and Beer.
But we're talking. Andrew Zada's in this show chat like religiously every week.
Whoops.
Did he have the same
look? There is
Did he have
Andrew
the same
Sada right
picture?
there.
Did he have the same picture all the time?
I'm
Yes.
pretty sure. I
Oh.
think.
Apparently, I don't pay much attention to the avatars in the
Oh,
chat. So
Matthew, we are well aware of your lack of attention to certain details across various areas.
I just stumble through life.
It is the hazards of being a doctor. You are very hyper focused on the things that you know, and then everything else just kind of flies by.
What happens when you're bricking and chatting at the same? I'm engaged in an auditory level most of the time.
I don't know.
You never want to be on one of
Sorry,
my
Andrew.
streams, then. I'm building, talking, and interacting with 3 different chats at the same time during my stream. So
That's
I
way
cannot-
too much
I cannot build and do
multitasking
this.
for a 50-year-old. I'm just gonna say.
Oh, what was that? I'm sorry.
I would probably blow a fuse and need a like a facelift or something out of it.
well, I have ADHD, so paying attention to multiple things at once is kind of a specialty.
It's kind of your coping mechanism, actually.
Exactly.
It's the stimuli are coming at you so fast that you just ride the wave. I understand.
Yeah.
I understand.
Sometimes Matthew texts us questions about like what to pick up for dinner to our group chat.
Hey, when you've got multiple chat windows or multiple text chains going at the same time, it's been a really long time since I accidentally text the wrong person anything terribly embarrassing, but it has happened at one point in my life. So,
Yeah, but we all know that you just meant to text Thomas, so we enjoy giving him wrong answers.
Because inevitably he may not realize he's in the wrong chat, and he will get a dinner request that he's not anticipating.
I refuse to bring home lobster. It's too expensive. Anyway, I think we're supposed to be talking about a convention, not my shopping list. So
It's messy. We are post-con just ramble as basically.
Yeah, we are.
Well, you know what?
Right,
Did
so
Hey,
I'll jump in and just say that I was very pleased. Other than the fact that it was extremely tight, that was not optimal. But I would say I was very pleased with what our own local people brought. I thought we did a great job of putting on a good show, and I thought the out-of-towners and our friends up in South Carolina had quite a presence, and they brought some very nice things. And of course, our friend from America's Hat, also known as Ontario, brought very nice and prize-winning, I would mention, prize-winning mosaic. So our out-of-towners really added, and our local people really showed up. And I was proud of what we put on, and I'm feeling bullish that this could become a pretty good con moving forward. That's my take.
I certainly think so.
I heard more than one comment over the weekend that with the amount of traffic and the amount of people, and actually the level of AFOLs that made the trek, that this could be the Southeast convention that we've been wanting. I mean, no offense to Brick Fair, but if we can get the draw from around the country, I think we have an expectation to reach a Chicago, BrickCon or Virginia status at some point down the road. I hope.
David, actually, there was people from Germany
and Australia.
Oh, I didn't. And Australia.
And Ben and Bonnie were also there from Canada. You just posted.
We had multiple Canadians. We had people came from
New Mexico, which is actually part of the United States. I learned.
Also, I heard a lot of people comment that the facility was extremely nice. I mean, not when we were crowded, but the facility was super nice. There's like 3 different. I mean, with the Hyatt, there's gonna be like 4 hotels that like are right in the parking lot, are attached.
Yeah.
That it's, let's just say, and no offense to Todd, very nice guy. It is a little bit more of a luxury getaway versus going to the Birmingham Convention Hall.
Right. I mean, and
we got dinner.
And to Todd's credit, Birmingham was a much cheaper place to put on a show.
Yep.
But at the same time, though, I think he was doing himself a discredit because Atlanta actually has another draw to it other than just coming to the show. Because, I mean, I know a handful of people, maybe even 2 handfuls of people who came to Atlanta specifically because they wanted to come to Atlanta, and the show was kind of like a double dip for them. So, I mean, I think that's part of the draw. You know, we get more people. So
everyone wants to go to the Coke factory.
No, it's actually the aquarium.
I know, I'm being facetious.
Everyone came for the Korean barbecue. Let's be honest.
Well, you know, it is.
Two things. Every time you say draw, I think you're saying draw, or I think draw. And secondly, who came from Australia? I'm just trying to think of her name now. It was
Holly.
Holly on Films. Yes,
that's right. All right. So wait. Jeff Inman, and I know I ate at least 2 meals with you. Tell us the Southern foods you ate and the ones you really want to do again.
Well, okay. How about we talk about the one that I got blamed for not eating, which was Waffle House.
Yeah. Okay. You went to McDonald's instead of Waffle House. How dare you?
Because my goal with going to Waffle House was to go with the people that I know, not going by myself, which was what I was doing in the morning to get McDonald's. Anyways,
by the time you leave Waffle House, that waitress is going to know everything about you. So that you go to meet her. All right. So, hey, honey, how you doing? You want some grits?
What you want, baby?
Jeff's going to wind up with a second spouse if he went to a Waffle House. You never know. So
there you go.
So Waffle House is on my chore list for next year because I'm coming back.
Yeah, you don't want to blow the whole wad in your first trip. So there you go.
You don't have to go to Waffle House. You get to go to Waffle House.
Well, he may have blown his whole wad if he had eaten at Waffle House. Who knows? So
well, that's actually a different phrase, but you're right.
Waffle House is only really, I think, prime under like 2 conditions. Like 2 a.m. in the morning and you're hungry, or like Sunday at 10 a.m.
I would say Sunday or a Saturday.
Sunday or a Saturday. A weekend late breakfast.
Yeah.
And you're starving.
Yeah.
Or that 2 a.m. I think the first time I went to a Waffle House was when I was a freshman at Georgia Tech at 2 a.m. And somebody who was a Georgia loco insisted, if we're hungry, we got to go to Waffle House.
Yeah.
Was it that really skanky Waffle House over there off Howell Mill?
Oh, yeah. We got hit on.
Yeah.
We got hit on. Who hits on 19-year-old girls at 2 a.m. in a Waffle House?
Everybody.
Yeah, everyone.
We were
Everybody.
nerdy girls, though. This is Georgia Tech.
And again, still gonna go with the word everybody.
I was gonna say 2 a.m. I can just think of what state of mind they're in at that point.
Yeah, they're drunk. We're all freaking out from some test that we were up studying for 2 a.m.
Everybody's got their own bodily chemical problem at that point in time of the day. So
We were high off the anxiety.
or the ADH medicine that you were trying to wean off of.
All right. Back to Jeff.
Burn.
Tell us what you ate. That was your high and low when it comes to Southern food that you tried.
Can't tell if he's frozen or in deep contemplation.
Hotel Wi-Fi. That's what I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's trash.
It's trash.
Yeah. So I had fried okra. I had sweet potato casserole.
Casserole, yeah.
Souffle. I'm trying to think what I actually ate with that meal. Oh, barbecue chicken, like pulled chicken. With that, we had barbecue. Matt took me for Korean barbecue, which is totally not Southern.
No. But it is totally a Matthew experience.
It's Southern Korea. Hello.
And we also Thursday night we went out for what was it, Cuban Mexican, Matt?
Yeah.
Which
Armando's
was-
Caribbean. Yeah.
Yeah, again,
was
while
good.
not Southern, is really just a Matthew
Yeah.
experience. So yes.
Yes,
I mean,
yeah.
Cuba's south of here. It's even more southern than Georgia.
Yeah, but I've been to Cuba, so I've had the real.
Canadians are
experience.
allowed to visit Cuba.
Damn right. I've been like 2 or 3 times. So,
Really?
But yeah. But and for the record, I've driven I left this Matt's house this morning at 8 and I just got here. So I've been on the road for 12 hours. So, if I sound dumb, it's because I pretty much am at this point.
Road hypnosis.
That
I
would be,
didn't see a lot of roadkill, but anyway.
That would be Himalayan squirrel, Himalayan on the road, and you.
I thought that squirrels were high in cholesterol, so I mean that's why you didn't want to. Anyway.
All right,
Squirrels.
good deal. All right, so let's talk about awards, though. And then Jeff, you won an award. Tell us about that at the convention.
I did. I won Best Canadian. No, I'm just joking. Ben and Bonnie were there.
You were the best Canadian there.
In my
No,
heart, you won
Ben and
Best
Bonnie were
Canadian.
there. They were anyway.
No,
I
I
won.
voted for the St. Catharines. I voted for the St. Catharines. I'm sorry, Jeff.
That's fine. I won the award for best art, /sculpture, I think it was, or whatever. I can't remember what the category is. It's in the car. For my classic space mosaic, which has been making its way around on Instagram now, thanks to the people sharing it. I've actually gone up. Yesterday, I went up 30 followers because I was in the 380s, and now I'm above 400. So cool.
But did you have a 12-year-old come up and offer you to buy it?
Numerous people came up and offered
Did
to
they?
do it. When we first got there, I had my space display in front of the table. And one of the first group of people that came up said, "Is this for sale?" And I was like, "No." And then they started walking away. They didn't even really look at it. They're like, "Can we buy this?" No.
Yeah. Now I'm starting to question the Pink Wheels comment gave me.
Well, you can ask my child.
I
She
believe
was
you, but
there.
now I'm starting to think they were just going around trying to buy all the art.
No, this
think
was Sunday. This wasn't first thing. It was Sunday.
Ben said,
Yeah,
had
the
2
David
offers.
the David Zool fans weren't out Saturday. They were out on Sunday.
They were out on Sunday.
All right, so then another award, Miss Meredith. What did you win the award for?
Best in show.
Best
in show. Look at there. Represent.
The Owl House made it. It was finished just barely. So, but my hoodie sticker for the door didn't. It went from Chicago, from Latvia to Chicago to Milwaukee, and now it's finally in Atlanta. So there was supposed to be a character on the door that was on a round 2x2 tile, and they didn't get here in time.
But it'll be ready for Chicago, and that's all.
And I have enough of these, and I have enough stickers coming. And I know stickers. Everyone hates Lego stickers, but so the Owl House fans that come to the show can get a hoodie tile.
Nice.
We know a guy who prints on those, right?
The problem is I don't own any of the original artwork.
Oh, I gotcha.
So I had an artist that's in Latvia that makes these stickers just print them for me, because he's not going to send me his artwork to reproduce. So
you never know. You don't ask, you don't know. Just to say.
Listen, he obviously did not speak. I mean, English was not his first language, and he was doing a great job. But I was trying to get him to use a FedEx International Economy mailer, because they're flat, so that I could get him like in 4 days. And he was struggling with the concept of what I was telling him in English, to like take this label, go to a place that has FedEx envelopes. I get it. He couldn't understand what I was asking him. So I'm trying to think, if I was trying to buy his artwork of this character, it would have not been.
I have some friends in Latvia. I can throw in an intermediary for us and see if they can work out something for you.
I want to offer a promotion of your channel.
Yeah, we got.
That's a Twitch bot that's trying to scam you guys.
Yeah, we've
Dana is big in Latvia. He's got connections.
No, I'm just saying that
big in Latvia.
That's
the underground.
Twitch. We're on Twitch.
Yeah, we broadcast to Twitch. I want to see if I can deal with that. See, I'll keep your spot.
I don't think there's anything you can do, Chris. I've tried to get rid of them too.
Yeah.
Those bots are the only Twitch users I have, or Twitch.
Don't you just ban them? Like,
I got a message on Instagram today that said, "Would I like to be someone's sugar baby?" I guess that's the opposite of sugar daddy. And I was like, I have a feeling that this inevitably will turn into me sending that person money, not the sugar baby. I was like, block.
I had Francine, who in the lug is like everyone's grandma. She is a grandma. I mean, she's adorable. I had Francine, she joined Instagram and he starts messaging me, and it starts off normal, like, "Hey Meredith, how's it going?" And I'm like, "Oh, hey Francine, like, thanks for the follow." And then she starts talking about like social security disability benefits, and would I like help getting the process started. And I'm just like, this isn't Francine.
I had a Facebook friends chat get hacked for the same thing. Yeah.
I run a professional social media account for my company I work for, and all the time we just get some of the most outlandish ads sent to the social media. Like, there's like, "Hey, we see you make this many videos, and we think your YouTube channel could be doing better, and this is how." And I'm like, yeah, I know exactly how this goes. I pay you money, and jack anything happens.
I just felt so bad, because like I really thought Francine figured out how to use Instagram, and I was just so excited.
All right, so let's see. We didn't have any other award winners, I don't believe. Although
I got a few other presents, though. Can I show off presents?
Sure.
I got this from Jason.
Ooh,
nice.
And I got 2 of these from Tom Jacobson, who makes the cool Frank Lloyd Wright.
Is that where these came from? So, because I didn't know where that came from, so now I do. Okay, cool.
Get one of those.
And then Aubrey honored me with one of her.
Yay! Now that's cool.
Yes,
that's good stuff.
So that was the cool stuff I got. And I bought a bunch of stuff from Chris. And then yeah,
you did. She bought some.
I bought something at the yard sale from our very own Fazoon.
Yeah, I had 2 satisfied customers, at the yard sale.
Do you know, I can say this is the first show I've gone to that I did not buy a single thing at the show.
It's the first show I didn't sell at the yard sale.
Did you actually have fun at the show then? I mean, what's the point of going?
I'm going to share.
I understand. You guys go to a lot of these.
What I did get at the show, and that meant even more so than anything that I would normally buy. And this was my little placard of things that I got when I was at the show. I got I'm going to steal. Am I doing myself here?
We all 3 hit it. I'm not hitting. My hands are here. Y'all hit the button.
All right. So I was able to get a trade for a Susan minifigure, a Cody minifigure, got an Aubrey Frisk minifigure. I got the wonderful Meredith minifigure, and I've even got her stern, angry face going there. And then I did receive last week, or actually a couple weeks ago, Jean's figure, so I'll just throw that there. Got the little trophy. Got the plant stem from Susan, the beard Brick Builders
Bearded
Guild
builders.
from Cody. And then I got this pin. I'm not sure who the pin came from. This is recognizable. Anybody?
You need professional lighting.
I also received that one.
Yep.
But
I'm not sure who that one came from.
Yeah.
But then the coup de grace would have to be from Brick Joey, because he gave me a goober, a blue Hans Gruber, a blue Hans Gruber, which was over the top, just over the top. So what I got from the show was no longer about buying things or winning prizes or raffles. It was my interaction and human connections that I walked away with, and I feel even that much more richer from the experience. So
there you go.
You know,
that's Jason's pin there. So
Jason's pin.
Which Jason?
Which Jason? There's multiple Jasons.
Many Jasons.
Hey,
Anyways,
Dana.
There are too many Jasons, but it wasn't
Dana.
me.
I also forgot. I think many of us got Minecrafted by the
Yeah. What was...
And you know what? Actually, Chris, still have yours, because once I found out that I thought it was a scavenger hunt, but it was not a scavenger hunt. It was just
I got Minecrafted
Steven.
in.
It was just Steven passing them out to people for fun. So
I left it.
I picked it up and I have it for you.
Oh,
So-
well, that's fine. You
So
also
was
have
it Steven Erickson, or who was it?
Steven Erickson, he was the one who left all the Minecraft figures out for everybody, and it was his just way of having fun and giving everybody a little something.
I also would like to report that you have 4 of my babies. So
I do have 4 of your babies, and I just got 3 replacement babies for your babies. So yeah.
How do you do this? I went to 2 Lego stores today.
I walked
Well,
into
that's
a
your
Joann's
mistake. You're
Fabrics.
going to Lego stores.
I walked into a
Yeah, I
Joann's
just got one
Fabrics.
tonight too.
We
There was an
don't want to end up on the
unmolested
FBI
case.
trafficking, list. So be careful.
yeah. So look for a Joanne Fabrics and everything.
Honestly, I just found some at Target. I mean, there was one space guy, but I was able to find 3 Falconers. So they're starting. I've noticed this is what I think happened, because January they were in no stores, but I do think they're coming back now in February. I think finally Lego is putting them in actual Targets and Walmarts and stuff.
So, some stores are definitely restocking though, because I know that the Barnes and Noble that I went to tonight, I've already picked up a few pieces from them, and then tonight I was able to complete the orcs that I wanted to get, and they had a space baby as well.
How many
They were
orcs
in-
are you trying to get?
They were in Target in
I have
northern.
a dozen.
Oh, nice.
They were in Target right after New Year's, or no, before New Year's, because Natalie and Brian went on a hunt in between Christmas and New Year's. That's what they filled their time with.
Well, yeah, if you went before Christmas, you were able to find it. It's so dumb. This whole wave, I felt like, hasn't been actually put out properly.
Wait a minute. I never got any babies from Adam.
I
unless
also
he went-
got space babies from you up in New York somehow. So
I borrowed babies from Meredith and from Fazoom. That's it. So I think Ant Bandit might have lent the babies to Intense. So maybe that's the case. I don't know.
Oh, maybe so. All right. So let's. Anybody want to tell? I've already told and gotten in trouble for my favorite tale of the con, the BO incident. Anybody's got just something? We'll kind of do a breakdown and a review of the con in a second. But
I had to pretend to be Brian for 3 hours in the Great Ball Pit, and apparently I had all the speeds on the modules going wrong.
Even better.
were you shooting like pink? Were you shooting balls
No,
like over there towards Jeff
I
and
had-
Lyndon?
I had them going too slow because that's how Stuart and Tom Atkinson. I had it set to like halfway on the train remote, and that's where Stuart and Tom Atkinson taught me to do it. But Brian says a lot of the modules back up too much, especially the ball pumps, which a lot of them had ball pumps. So you have to run those full steam. And I'm just doing what Tom Atkinson, the godfather of GBC, taught me to do. But yeah.
Awesome.
I can't wait to see more Space Baby mocks hit the internet. That's just what I'm waiting for.
There you go. All right. Any other tales of
I've got, well, I mean, other than the fact that I couldn't see the floor in front of me for 4 hours on Saturday, and it was incredibly hot until they eventually turned the AC on. And your son and I were both like, the air is on, the air is on. So
yeah, I got text, Dad, it's cooler over here. The air is blowing.
Yeah. Oh no, I went over to you guys had people packed inside both the lug booths. Yeah, that was a bad idea.
It was like that scene when they're in the mines of Moria, and he's like, "The air is a little less foul this direction."
Yeah. Yes, entertaining name. I am in Bricks and Beer, and I will probably post more of the space babies in there as well. I'm Trouble's bricking in there as well.
Are we going to talk about Martin being like photographed like a wild animal?
I don't know. I mean, I know what he was doing, but at the same time, I think I was not the only person who looked over and went,
we were all there.
What is Martin doing?
We were all there.
So you have to imagine this picture. There's a nice big table that he's working on setting up his Disney castle on, and he is on the table laying down posterior to most of us with his arm and his hand almost elbow deep into the castle.
He's got a future in veterinarian. He's got a future in veterinarian field if you want.
All I could think of was, is that castle giving birth to a calf or something?
He had to turn the baby castle around.
I didn't get the side shot. But
I hope he didn't lose his watch in there.
It was coming.
Turret and cough.
You know now there's the Martin Harris like in real life Instagram account now.
Yes, right. So it's the fun
right?
little things of actually Martin in the real world. But yeah, no, that was fun. And so I didn't really do, my motivation was Crocodile Hunter, but it kind of turned into more of a Monty Python type scenario. But it was.
I thought you were going for like BBC Wildlife.
It was. I mean, that all applies. It all applies. It was fun.
So when we were leaving the con, a few of us that were helped packing up and stuff, we went and ate at Marlowe's, which was delicious. Oh, yeah. And as we were leaving, Cody and Nicole, a girl who bricks a lot or whatever, they were there eating, and we just happened to say bye. And our new friend Aubrey Freeze, who's joined the lug, she goes, "Hey, I joined the lug," and I'm like, "Oh, that's exciting." And then Nicole said, "Are you local?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "Who is Groovy Granny?" And I said, "You mean Francine?" She goes, "Yes, I love her." So
awesome.
Francine for real needs to be on Instagram. She'd be a star.
She would.
She was like, you need to just text everything that she says and put it on the internet and everything. So funny.
Yes.
I could imagine her having a few Rosanna Dana moments where she'd be like, "Somebody was complaining about the violins," and they're like, "It's violence." She goes, "Oh, okay, never mind."
But you know what, though? I mean, I mean this not in an insensitive way. I mean, bless her heart. She tries to be as politically correct as she can, but sometimes you know exactly where she's coming from. It's awesome.
Oh, she was awesome.
She has the heart in the right spot.
Yeah, she does. She does.
Yeah, she does.
She's amazing.
So
all right. So Matthew gave his review of the con. So we'll just go ahead and hit some of the. Well, here's one positive. That's the nicest dang bathroom I've ever been at a con before.
Yeah.
If you were in the map.
I have to take total issue with that, because did you notice the women's bathroom right outside the con entrance? Something was not available Saturday and Sunday, and they kept telling us to go to the upstairs women's bathroom, which only had 6 stalls, and it was gross by the time you had all those people in. What they didn't tell you is there was a giant women's bathroom outside the 5 fly fishermen fishing con, and like they were yelling at me for going down there, and it's like there's 6 toilets up there, and you have 2,000 people in there.
Yeah.
And probably most fly fishing people were male, I would almost say.
Yeah.
So
No, and eventually they stopped yelling, and everyone that was coming down there was Atlanta.
On
BrickCon.
Sunday, there was a sign that said "Go down to those halls to use the bathroom."
No,
Yeah.
and then it got changed to go upstairs, and it was really
Oh.
gross.
Trish and Druce mentioned that the main pipe in that bathroom was blocked.
Okay.
So it wasn't like one of the toilets was blocked. It was the whole system. Everything
Yeah.
was blocked by
because there was a water fountain outside that bathroom, and the water on it coming out on Sunday was almost like you could make tea with that water. It was so hot.
So I used that to fill my water bottles on Saturday night.
Saturday was fine. Saturday was
like
fine.
trench mouth, Jeff.
Saturday it was fine, Jeff, but it was Sunday it was bad because I went out there and I was going to fill my bottle and somebody said, whoa, feel that. And I felt it and I was like, what? And she's like, come with me. And that's when she took me over to the fly fishing side where there was a much better water fountain. So.
Well, you cannot count that, Jeff, as the worst thing you had food-wise or beverage-wise, and it's not our fault. So,
on Saturday, everybody left before lights out happened.
Us locals had to go home.
No, they didn't.
It's terrible.
I ended up driving. I went to the Lego store after the awards ceremony, and then came back and ended up driving Ben and Bonnie back to their hotel. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go back. So I ended up going back to the convention hall, and me, Julian, and oh great, why have I forgotten that name?
Brittany,
his wife.
Brittany.
Sorry, Sparkles. The three of us and Jason was there too, and I think a few others were there. Anyway, so we basically hung out, and we closed the building down at 11, which isn't that late, I know, but that's what time they kicked us out. But it was fun because I got to hang out with Julian and Brittany for a while and chat with them, which I haven't really had a lot of one-on-one time with them. So it was kind of fun to talk with them.
That's a good deal.
Chris.
Mr. Campbell, welcome to the stream. How are you doing?
Hi, how is everyone?
We're good. We're all sitting here. How are you?
Tired.
We're fine. We're fine here. Everything's fine.
Everybody's listening now.
And Dana in that picture when I was in the ball pit trying to be my husband.
Yeah. It was entertaining because Meredith was like literally like 10 to 15 feet away from me, but we were having to Instagram message back and forth communications because there was no way to get back and forth. She's like, sure, Natalie's drinking water. Do you have water you can send? It was fun.
That's crazy.
So I do have a story outside of the entertainingness of this convention in general. So I got to go over. I didn't talk to him on Saturday because it was. I mean, that was one of the drawbacks is that there were until they got flow control for people down on Sunday. It was insane. You couldn't get around to talk to anybody on Saturday, but I think they got that locked down and it'll get even better next year. But on Sunday, I finally got to go over and talk to Carrie from season 3 of Lego Masters. I'm telling you, you know what? This is now like the third or fourth time where I've gotten to meet and talk to somebody from Lego Masters shows that Lego Masters did not showcase them appropriately, and you didn't really get to understand who they were and all the fun that they really are, because that guy is a Lego Star Wars nerd to the nth degree, and he's now one of my new favorite Lego Masters.
Is Georgia having internet problems? Because Chris has disappeared. And you guys are both blurry.
Yeah, I had just everyone for me just suddenly go robotic.
Dana's a total robot for me. I thought it was my end.
Yeah, Dana's pixelated.
Meredith as well. Chris.
Yep, Matthews.
Yeah, it's literally everyone.
How was Ms. Mine okay?
I'm hearing y'all fine.
Yeah, I don't know, because like Dana and Meredith looked pretty bad from my end, and Dana sounded really robot kind of.
And I'm not even in Canada with all the internet, so.
How about this one?
Tell us.
Is this coming through?
Both Matthew and Meredith have been pixelated for the last like 10 minutes.
You're pixelated for me.
Yeah, Dana's pixelated for me, but everybody else is crystal clear.
Interesting. Interesting.
Is this a Chinese weather balloon?
I would blame StreamYard before I would blame anything else.
Well, it all started to happen when Campbell joined the stream. So
It's my fault.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Campbell.
My train parts actually showed up today 4 days late, so I've got train parts now. Yay!
Train farts.
Pretty much. I mean, it is a speaker. I might put fart noises on there. So
There should be a train that goes around and has like the little smoke come out and actually be like that fart juice. That'd be awesome.
Actually, this is my favorite comment right here. No, you're pixelated. No, you're pixelated. No, you're pixelated.
So, obviously they already want to expand the floor space. Honestly, I think we could have increased the floor space by 1/3 and not have to add any additional mocks or vendors, and that would be great. Just to have more room to move around in. So I mean, I'd love to see them double the floor space and then add a little bit more content.
agreed.
They already signed for next year, Matt.
Oh, I know. I'm just talking hypothetically about.
Yeah, but it's some double space. I mean, they knew coming in because they were trying to get that space, and the fly fishing event was already booked, so that's why they couldn't get the full meal deal. But next year they've already registered for the full meal deal, so we will have the space that we need for the vendors and the displaying.
And I think that they were going to try to have the fancy dining room space that we had dinner in for the whole weekend, and they were going to put maybe vendors and stuff up there. But one wedding booked while he was negotiating with them, and one night, and that cut the whole thing out for him to be able to use it for the whole weekend.
Right.
And the manager, I mean, you've got somebody paying big money for the big thing. Call that guy and say, hey, we got somebody coming in. You're going to take it. And they would have taken it. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't. And boom. So, yeah. Hey, Talk, how are you? Good to see you.
I will say that I thought the food at the dinner was actually pretty tasty for convention food. I mean, I've had some bad convention food in my time.
Chris, I'm going to one up you here for a second, because don't just say, hey, Talk. Hey, Kim, how are you? Because now I know that's who that is.
Well, I knew that too. I was just not going to use her name. Anyway.
No, I mean, come on. All right, fine, be that.
Yeah, now her CIA cover is blown.
No, I blew that earlier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What I liked about this con as well was there was 150-ish people there registered, but at a lot of the people I wanted to meet at Brick World were also here, but they didn't have 150. Well, they didn't have their own little cliques of groups of people around them, because a lot of people were traveling in their packs of friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Cody and I did talk to Cody a few minutes at Brick World, but I got to talk to him for 10 or 15 minutes type thing during the convention, and Aubrey and stuff like that as well. So and Nicole and Alyssa as well. And so it was fun, and like you said, meeting up with her, figuring out that Talk was actually, and I forgot her name. Karen.
So we can use her name. It's fine.
Karen?
Kim.
Oh, Kim. I thought you said Karen. I'm like, that doesn't sound right, because I would have probably remembered that. But anyways, but yeah, it was great because I was actually able to talk to people that I've been following online, and someone I walked up to, or at some point someone walked up to me, or I walked up to them, and they put the face to my mocks for the first time, because it was the Mosaic or the Space Hanger or something. It's like, oh, I've been following. This is you, so it was kind of neat as well, right? Because, and Brickbender, Jason, we've been talking about the Buzz Lightyear truck that I had built, and now I'm actually going to finish the directions and stuff, because I actually know who he is now. Versus I haven't finished, but I never did the steps and stuff.
I need both Brickbender and Martin to relocate to Atlanta so we can see them more often.
It was really good to get to hang out with Martin for a while.
You know what? The funny thing is that even though he was here, I still didn't really get to hang out with Martin because I had to go home at night. So
I fed him Canadian and British chocolate.
Ooh, very nice. Very nice.
I enjoyed your Canadian chocolate.
Yes.
Yeah, I went up to point out some issues I had with his Disney mock, and he's like, I did that on purpose. Thank you for finding it. So, because, as a Disney file, that you never see the same two of the same costume characters ever in the same area of a park. It just doesn't.
That's
and he did that on purpose, and I caught that, and he was actually thrilled that I had caught that. I think.
No, he is okay. We love Martin, so take this as the ultimate comment. He was being very, very nice to you, but he was like, that jerk. I'm not going to talk to him again when you walked off. So let's just
I can't ever hear Martin saying that ever. Just
I know.
Even at his worst, I'm sure that he would still be polite when he no.
Martin claims that he hates people, but he's like the nicest people-hating person I've ever met.
That's the very English side of him, you know.
That's right. You're an incredible turd, and you feel great about yourself. You feel great about yourself.
You'd feel dignified. You were a dignified jerk.
Minifigure collector. So the baby space was a big hit with the fans, just not a big hit with the voters for any awards. But
I put in Brian because he wasn't there, and then Natalie wanted it, and I wanted it. So you had a family of 3 here.
That's just it. And the funny thing in the grand scheme of things, the categories that I would have been up for awards, the people that won the awards for those categories, I voted for all of them, so I'm probably to blame for myself not getting an award.
I'm sorry, I didn't even realize when I had to turn the vote thing in, and it was too late.
So that was one of our big complaints. I mean, and no offense to the Star Wars Hoth mock that won, but I didn't see 50% of the Star Wars mocks until till the end of Saturday, and I was like, I totally would have changed my vote because I didn't see half of the things going on.
Exactly.
Yeah, I had that same experience with the Reef that won the best small.
Yeah,
I saw it when I was looking around before everything, and it was really cool looking. But I was like, I don't know if that's okay, whatever. And then the next morning, I was just happened to be there when she was turning it all on and got it running and got to see it in all of its glory and was like, oh no, that is excellent. That is very well done. It looks amazing. It moves. I love it. So yeah, I do wish we had a little more time.
Yeah.
Well, I realized I took 0 pictures. I took some pictures of the line just because I was walking out there, but I usually picture take and talk to people, and I felt like I didn't get enough, personal time with people. But I do that every time I'm at a con, the morning before the crowd gets there and right after. And
there wasn't that this time.
Well, there wasn't, but I also I wasn't there because I had work, I had stuff to do, so I was late getting to the con every time. And so I realized when it was over, it's like, well, I did say hello, but I didn't get to say even goodbye to because we were loading and getting out. So all the people I was, talking to, I didn't get hardly any goodbyes. I did hug Martin. I'm like, oh crap, I wasn't supposed to do that. But anyway, he's like, it's all right. I'll take a hug from you any day. I'm like, I'm write that down.
But Aubrey is right. I had to replace and re-put back together the baby space several times because
Chris and I were there for that.
Yeah, they were always kids touching those. They were just too good not to touch, I guess.
Well, there was some.
Were you allowing people to touch them? Or
No.
Okay, so kids were just reaching over and.
Oh, they were going full bore. It was what I call laissez-faire parenting because I told the mother to tell the kids to stop, and she argued with Chris and I.
Yeah,
she's like, oh,
it was the parents over at the pizza.
What was the argument?
Worse
that they're too young to understand what they can't touch.
Oh.
Then they shouldn't be there. Sorry, that's just my personal opinion. Like, if you go into a museum and you start touching stuff, you know what's going to happen next?
Maddie's going to kick you out.
Oh, yeah.
There was one guy that literally took the end book off of the library mock off the table and picked the brown book up.
Yeah.
It's a parent problem.
Yeah. It's just a people problem.
But. And some of that is because they were so pressed for space. The stanchions were right up against, and they were not hard stanchions. They were just, you were like you were winning a race coming through it, but the tape didn't break because it's just, would zip in and zip out. And so, but all good. Growing pains from the con.
Exactly. It's going to be better. It'll be better next year.
As someone who I did really want to go to the convention this year, and then work was like, yeah, we have a big trip the weekend before, and we're putting a vacation hold on that week. But from what I saw on social media, it seemed like everyone loved it. I had a lot of content creator friends who went out to it, and they seemed like they just had a blast. So
you seemed like you were the only content creator of that group that wasn't there.
I can name a ton that really wanted to be, but we all were like, this looks like it's on our con list for next year to put in time for that to be
there you go.
So, Dana, can you make him feel even more guilty?
I was trying to.
You know what though? I worked on some space content while you guys
did,
were
and
there,
that is redeeming. That is redeeming. That's all that is.
All right. Well, while we're at it, though, I mean, every con has some negatives, and trust me. By the way, if you haven't and you went and you're in the room or whatever, leave some positive comments because there were some negative comments.
I saw that. They licked our plexiglass. I had a kid literally just bite our plexiglass.
It's so yummy.
That's just kids.
That's negative number one. Kids licking things.
And Donut was a lot of fun. It was tasty, evidently.
That's how they develop their strong immune system.
I was gonna say, I think I'm gonna go shower now again.
I'll never forget. Like I was at an amusement park or something, and the parent handed like a kid something that wasn't a food object, and the kid just went, and I stood there and I just busted out laughing, and I just couldn't stop myself. Like, and the parent had this horrified look on their face, like, I don't know what happened. Like, why did they do this?
Kids do the darndest things.
Yeah. All right, so the ladies' bathroom going kerplunk. That was a neg.
I was more irritated at the site the site security telling me I had to go upstairs to use a bathroom versus letting me use the fire. I mean, come on, 6 people for that whole room or 6 stalls. That's gross.
That falls under only certain people know how to go beyond what they are told to do. And
I know. That's my only complaint is the bathrooms.
Yeah, and so there were a lot of complaints on social media about the parking issue. That has nothing to do with the convention
or the event or the vendor prices because of con pricing.
Apparently, Queen Anne's Revenge was still for sale at Walmart 2020 because the guy saw the tag on it.
Probably possible, or who knows? But yeah, the parking thing made me laugh because I'm like, all right, $5 for parking. And you are a Lego enthusiast. You are in the wrong hobby if you are worried about $5 for parking. It's
one
saying.
CMF, baby.
Yeah, it's one poly bag.
Hey, that is one very awesome orc. Okay, our spaceman. If we're talking this group,
however you want to play. But again, when you typically are spending multiple thousands of dollars a year on plastic bricks, and you can't splurge for $5,
you know who the people who were complaining were probably the people who aren't Lego enthusiasts who just heard there was a cool convention to go look at. Like,
can I be sassy?
You didn't say.
I don't know this. I don't know the scenario.
Can I be sassy? The people complaining are typically the local Lego enthusiasts who do not pay their annual dues to Peach Lug.
Yes,
they are not members of Lug.
$15 to join our Lug.
You said what you said, and I heard it. So
I have to wonder if the fly fishing conventioneers also thought it was a ridiculous price for parking.
Birmingham was 20 or 10. It used to be 10, then it went up to 20.
Yeah, Birmingham was $20 a day. If you go down,
$20 a deal.
If this convention was, say, I don't know, downtown Atlanta, because that would make more sense for a lot of people, parking would be $20 or more downtown. But then the advantage is you could take MARTA and park for free, but then you still have to pay for MARTA. But that doesn't help you if you're displaying. So
I've been summoned to tuck into the beds.
Oh, wait. Before you leave, did we tell Chris that I got a hug from Natalie as I was leaving on Sunday?
I heard. I'm jelly. Totally jelly. I got zip.
I have to say it was a pretty enthusiastic hug.
It was. That was the highlight of my week.
It was a running into you hug.
It was awesome. It was good.
I'm hurt.
I didn't get a hug and I gave her chocolate.
I gave you a hug. You
He has known her for like what 5 years?
Oh, I've deserved this hug for 5 years, so I'm finally
we'll put Chris in that same bucket. So
yes.
We'll see.
And for the record, I didn't
ask.
For the record, I wasn't driving a white van when I was handing out chocolate.
Bye, y'all.
Good night, Ashoka.
For those that didn't get to see it, I did finish printing the Hogwarts tender.
Hang on, let's see that.
That looks beautiful.
Nice.
You can take that to NMRA next week.
Yeah, about that.
Is it next week
or whenever it is?
It's in March.
No, isn't it next week?
No, it's in March.
There you go.
It's in March.
We're not done with this month already.
It's much nicer than the Lego version, at least.
I like it. It looks good.
That's very good.
So,
All right,
anyway,
so I believe it was Lego Master winner Mark who came by and said, "Chris, is it just you or is it just me? And have we been at a whole lot of cons and paid a lot of money, and we came to this one free and we got a buffet? Somebody owes us a taco." Okay.
Wait,
I mean, we got fed really well. We've said this before, but that was like the icing on the cake. You know, literally, it was amazing that they would feed us.
Right.
And I Sunday I did go to Nick and I said, "Dude, I've been to a lot of conventions and maybe one has ever fed us."
Yeah.
well,
We
I mean,
ate
they
at
fed us
Showtime.
last year, and it was good last year.
Yeah,
They upped their game this year.
I missed that one from last year, but he said, I said, you know, you didn't charge us, and he did say, I might have to charge you a little bit next year. I'm like, it does not bother me. He said, you're going to get it all back. And I'm like,
Right.
yeah, I get it. You know,
That's another one for the negative column, though. Some of us did pay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you
Well,
need to talk to him about that. I think
yeah,
he'll
well,
make that
yeah.
right.
You
Well,
know,
yeah, we'll
Yeah.
that might have
Just
been
as an
something.
FYI.
Just saying.
Again, growing pains for the lug, growing pains
Yep.
for the show, because the funny thing is, and Jason, I do feel bad for you in this aspect, but it seems like all of the Peach Lug members who were used to going to, say, Brick Fair or Brick World, they knew what to do because they'd done other shows.
Yep.
And it was the ones who had, this was their first show, got left behind. And, you know, I feel bad about that.
For
Yeah,
example,
well, and first time at the venue and the first time in the newer space. And I mean, there's just where there were a lot of firsts, there wasn't a lot of forethought, I don't think. Or maybe there was, and it just wasn't as widely spread as it could have been.
Would like to give a
was
shout
not
out to Ant Bandit for those great parking directions and how to get to where we were going, though, because I'd never been there either.
Yep.
So.
Wait, Jeff, and when you had a confused hand up, what was that?
Yeah, you said you had to pay. I mean, I paid for the convention on the site. Like I
Right.
bought it like an Evite ticket or whatever. I forget
So
what it was.
because we are the Lug, we are Peach Lug,
Oh,
and this is our
okay.
home show, to encourage the turnout from the Lug itself,
Fair
all
enough,
Lug
okay.
members got in free.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't. Okay. That makes
Or
more
those
sense.
who registered and knew to register as the Lug got in free.
Or maybe we're not supposed to, like Lugbook, we're not supposed to talk about that.
I may be going to con jail. I don't know. We'll find out.
I don't know. But
Guys,
I don't
I'm
mind.
sorry, I got to run. I'm getting summoned to another event, so we will catch y'all later.
Ciao.
Hey, Chris.
See you, buddy.
So the one thing that I would say is that even as a con veteran, I completely forgot to register mock cards, and I was vaguely aware that I was supposed to do that, but I just completely forgot. So
Well,
none of mine had cards.
and again, we've become jaded because we were used to shows that have had years behind them. And again, this is an infant show. They're going through learning pains, growing pains. It's just a different thing. I guarantee you next year's show, for as awesome as this one was, will be 10 times better.
Yeah.
So
And from my recollection, I don't have as many to compare against, but from going last year at the old venue to this one, it feels like this was twice the show anyway.
Right.
So that comes with its own challenges as well.
Yeah. And it's just going to keep getting, I mean, the fact that I forget, someone was telling me the numbers of people that they got in through the door compared to last year versus this year versus some other shows. And yeah, they were beyond their estimated numbers, way, way, way beyond their estimated numbers. So
My son says
we
con
crushed
jail is a
Rick
ball
Fair
pit with a
numbers.
sick child. So.
or a bouncy. I think actually, as opposed to, well, no, did they have a ball pit at Brick Fair, Virginia or Alabama? I know they always had the bouncy house. It was always a bouncy house. So that would be the jail of being stuck in a bouncy house with a bunch of sick children, or just having your booth stuck next to the bouncy house, as many people have had.
Oh, dude, or right by Todd on bingo, but it bingo at Brick Fair. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Chris, did you miss bingo at this event?
The fact that there wasn't bingo. There was no bingo.
But Chris loved bingo at Brick Fair. I remember every time
everybody
it was
loves bingo at Brick Fair. What are you talking about?
Okay.
It's like it's
okay.
people rush back from dinner on Saturday night to make sure they do bingo.
Oh, now, big prize giveaway bingo, great. In the crowd making all the noise bingo, no. I know.
Okay.
Okay, Stefan seemingly drunk doing bingo, worth the price of admission. I mean,
That is true.
Stefan and Martin tag teaming to do. So you got gentleman British boy calling at the numbers, and you've got like seemingly drunk Stefan running around with the microphone talking. That was the most fun bingo I've ever been to.
Yeah, the
It's
build
Stefan,
quality
if you're
was
listening
high.
and you weren't drunk, my apologies.
Did anybody know the guy that came and had it was over there near where the bridge building challenge area was, where Dan was? There was a sectioned off area with a guy that had his own like layout and all that kind of stuff. Did anybody know that guy?
No, but he had some
Maybe.
cool builds.
Do you mean the one with all the like old space stuff?
No.
No.
Other side.
No.
Other side.
The one
Other
with the other side.
He had the posters in
bridge?
front of on all four sides of his mock with his
Yeah.
photo on it. That guy.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know him, obviously.
I
I
didn't
didn't know
either.
him. Yeah.
He had his name printed, but I didn't know his name.
Yeah, I never met that guy before. So I just found it interesting. It was a big thing that he had put down and everything. So, but I had never heard of the guy before.
I
so.
heard someone say that was all in his basement. That's all that I'd heard someone say, kind of behind me while I was, because he was close to me. But yeah, no idea.
Jeff,
who he was.
a serious fail, because out of all of us who would have had the opportunity to talk to him and meet him would have been you.
I
Just
Don't put it on him,
I'm not
Dana.
gonna say it.
dude, Saturday, I left my table
Mhm.
like twice to go to the bathroom, and that was it, because you couldn't get anywhere. So you're
Dana just playing the guilt game today, isn't he?
Oh, Brad.
I'm surprised Dana
today-
just didn't have that bottle under the table solution worked out.
Well, I thought about it at one point in time.
Well, I guess Dana hung out. He did not hang out with us at the
table.
con, but that was good because Jake and I were able to play the long game on a prank on Dana, and it went well. It started. Jake came with this. Jake and I were talking about the farm that Dana is making, and Jake, one of us said, "What if we made something mutant happen?" Or we haven't even mentioned it on here. It'd be funny. So we did it. So the first thing I asked Dana when I saw him is like, "Hey man, your farm got carrots?" This is Thursday. I said, "Your farm got carrots on it?" Yeah, there's carrots in there. Good. So the next day, he's setting up. I'm like, hey man, how does that roof work on that modular of yours? And he's like, oh, pulls the thing up and shows me it all. And I'm like, is it sturdy on top? Yeah. Look. This came from I saw this on a mock, and he's telling me all stuff. Good. And so Jake and I go home and build the root so I can get in and put the root up in there, put the thing on top, it'll support it. We walk into the con on Saturday. Dana, you hanging out with us or you hanging over there? And he goes, "Oh man, I'm loving hanging out with my stuff. I'm gonna hang out here." I'm like, "Oh, that's great. Good. So we immediately went over there and stuck this on and made the mutant carrot pop up out of your thing.
I missed
And
that
it was
completely.
probably one of the most photographed things on our moon base the entire weekend.
It was. We
I
set it
have-
down and turned around, and there were 3 people taking pictures of it as we put it on there. So
Yeah, that was an awesome addition.
I'm just glad that when people were probably taking pictures of that carrot, there is a blue Hans on an ostrich behind it. So
that's great. That's great.
Oh, jeez.
Oh me. Let's see. Rich Snaps, I think he's talking about the guy. Met him in Chicago. Okay. Good
Yeah.
deal. Met him in
Yeah.
North Carolina, retired. That's cool. Awesome. Anyway, any last comments on the con? I had a blast. What I could be there. It's so funny now. Everything is back in a mess. Boxes are everywhere because of it. So we got the printed bricks. I hope we get name bricks next year.
I added it.
there
to
was
my-
a vendor there who would engrave bricks for you. So
That's
that's
true.
Yeah. And
All the
I
time.
actually know what room Matt's in now. Finally, I actually peeked in at the office the other
you know.
day.
Yeah, you have the layout. you have the layout.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. Anybody else comment or complaint or whatever? Nick and Amanda are amazing. By the way, for all the complaining, and we even had this grumbling, they had to lay out a bunch of risk and money to make this happen. So growing pains are growing pains. Much appreciation to them for organizing what they organized, for putting out the risk from out of their back pocket, out of their time, out of their emotional bucket and everything. And thanks for them for getting this together, being open to suggestions, for letting us help. Trish and Drews were there working with other folks, helping to get the show together. And kudos to our lug for tearing down really fast, getting it out the door, us debating whether to break out the window in the back of Matt's vehicle to get a table in. But that didn't have to happen. I'm sorry to say, and everything. So it was a fantastic weekend.
Yes.
The funny thing was, I was going to Matt's house and I had a bigger SUV, and it was parked like by the back. We could easily. I was thinking of it just a few minutes ago. We could easily threw that last table into my truck.
But we would have had to drive that. We would have had to drive that to Brian and Meredith's house. So it was
Yeah, but I mean, like,
those tables are still in my garage in the vehicle. They're not going over.
Then there would have been one extra one sitting there that you could just bring the next time.
Hilarious. All right. So, Brad, you're coming to Atlbrickcon next year, yes?
If work allows me to, yes.
Quit and come down here if you can find another job.
Okay. This is what all you need to do then. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, watch my videos, because then I'll perfectly be happy enough to quit my job, do that full time, and come down.
Nope, not gonna. Anyway.
Exactly. There we go. See. So you're not putting in the effort then, and I guess I'm not coming down next year. Not joking. My goal is definitely to come down and probably bring maybe a small mock or just come down and enjoy it. So.
Yeah, you know what? And I think we talked about this in our little chats today. I think I want to go to a con and not take anything. I brought most. I didn't bring everything I could have because we were out of table space. I didn't bring all the big spaceships, right? Yeah. So, but part of me wants, if I get to go to a Chicago or even Virginia again, maybe bring me something, sit it on the table, and just enjoy the show, because I think I'm missing out sometimes. I mean. I don't want it to be a thing where nobody brings anything. Then there's no point in it.
Well, I don't think that. I think that's the advantage of going to a faraway show, is going light. I mean, I know last year when we went to Chicago, I mean, I originally said no Moonbase because I didn't want to spend all day setting that up.
Stop blaming me for you taking Moonbase. It is not my fault.
It was because I told Adam that if you guys didn't go, we weren't doing Moonbase, and then you decided to go, so I was obligated to do Moonbase. But anyway, the point being is that, yes, I think that Chicago now, because we wanted to go, and I mean, even Matthew, he took more than he would have normally taken to that show because we didn't know.
I took every mock that I have not disassembled to Chicago.
Right. And the reason behind it was because we didn't know if we were ever going to go back there, and we hadn't gotten to do a show in a while. So we wanted to bring out the big guns for Chicago. But now that we've done it, I think now this year we'll go light and enjoy the show more than feeling like we need to come and make a presence.
Yeah, so. I think so, and not have to baby a setup and stuff like that. Just go and enjoy the show because there's plenty of builders.
You want to know something funny about Chicago this year? So my goal is to go out to it, but I'm going to be in Atlanta for work the day before I'm flying out to Chicago. So I'm going from Atlanta to Chicago for that convention.
Send me your flight information. We'll try to work my flight in with yours.
What town did you say you were in?
I'm going to be in Atlanta.
Atlanta. What is Atlanta? Atlanta.
Okay, well,
Atlanta.
This is that New York drawl.
Atlanta sounds like a pop star from the 90s, man. Atlanta. All right, there you go.
It's Atlanta.
And nobody pronounces the second T.
No.
Like Toronto.
Half the time they don't even pronounce the A in the front. So
yeah, and when you're in town, do not say Hot Lanta because
nobody says.
I say Hotlanta. I'm the only one.
That's because you're from the Midwest. So yeah,
that's true. All right. It is after an hour. Oh, tell us about that, Mark. Did you show that on the show?
Sorry, I'm just going to quickly jet. I need to get some dinner still, and Target closes in 45 minutes.
Okay, bud. See you.
And all that entails.
See you guys.
Show us the Fleebnor.
What's he eating
Yes,
at Target? Who eats at Target? What?
I think he wanted to check Target for Never mind. Continue.
He's looking for babies.
So I actually just got these right before the show on last week on Thursday, and we didn't have our show on Thursday because we were all getting ready for con. So I have a giant Fleebnork. This is a 3D printed Fleebnork that's actually, these are fully,
awesome.
I think 300% scale Lego. So yeah, it works. It's the actual Lego Scorpion scaled up. So you've got tiny Fleebnork, big Fleebnork.
Awesome. So Mark, I have a side project that we need to do.
Okay.
Because it's not the right color. It's not translucent, but I bet you we can smooth and sand that thing out to be nice and slick, and then do a resin mold, and then get some trans yellow or trans green, neon green resin, and actually do it the way it should be done. I think we can do it.
If you know how to do all that, I'm on board.
All right, I do. So let's make that happen. I think we need to make that happen.
So the one of my
Uncle Scorpion. Who was that? Kick them out.
Axle plate.
One of my TikTok friends actually made this for me. And
which is awesome.
It's Econo_NYC on TikTok made this. But first, when he started printing, he didn't realize it, but he printed the 3x3 dish first. Like, oh, that's not the right size. So now I have a pedestal that my Fleebnork can sit on.
Great. You know what it'll be funny is that you take a bunch of regular Fleebnorks and you actually put them under that, and it's the birthing sack.
You have a full brood.
But I got an extra surprise when I opened the box. Actually, I got a giant size gray space dude.
Oh,
that's beautiful.
Beautiful. And this is all printed in. The logo is printed in. Even the neck stripe is printed in.
So
that's cool.
Yeah, the backpack and everything is all like really well done. And,
that is very well done.
It even has like
nice
all the shaping of everything.
Well, because the funny thing is that a lot of the actual models from what is it? What was the predecessor to Stud.io? It was LD Draw.
Yeah,
all of those pieces are exportable from LD Draw, and you can create STL files out of them. So that's really cool.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Gray Space Guy is going to live on the shelf behind me next to all the space stuff. And yeah, that was super great. I got that. And hey, while we were at show, Small Paul won a set on the raffles.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, I think Jake and I, or the tickets you left me, won another prize or two at the closing ceremonies. So
that was another contention, was that I like how at Brick Fair, Virginia or Alabama was you had to check in, so they just drew names.
They did that at Virginia too.
Yeah, so much better. I found from talking to Aubrey that what they do, or Cody does at Brick Slopes, is that they scan your badge when you come into the event. So it's like if it's the raffle, and what they do is they run through, like, because Cody gives away so much stuff, but they run through where everybody gets something before they allow for people to get double.
Oh, that's cool.
And I was like, that's even better. That's cool. So
I wonder if Cody and all their tech, would he be willing to, export, borrow, let us learn from? And
absolutely. I actually talked a little bit to him, and I told him I was going to send Matthew his way, and then probably even Nick his way. And he's like, yeah, any advice he can give, that he's more than welcome or more than happy to provide. So
yeah, Cody's an awesome guy.
He's good people. Actually, all those Utah people are good people.
Yeah. All that entourage that was here. That was awesome. All right, everybody, 16 after. It is time for us to close this down. Thank you all for being here. Thank you if you are listening or came by and enjoyed our convention. Good. That's awesome. Any help we can get to improve it is great. So what a fantastic weekend it was. It was a busy weekend. I literally came home walked in the door after a delicious burger with Matt and Jeff Van Winnen and Trish and Dries and all that. Got home after driving. I laid down to greet the dog because I was apologizing for having the audacity to be gone all day. And I woke up 8 hours later, still in the shirt, still in the jeans that I had on top of the covers. I was just gone. So got a good night's sleep. So it was great.
Now you know how Bruce Banner feels.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. They shrunk down to be a regular size feller. Anyways. All right, everybody have a great night. It was great hanging out with friends. Thank y'all for being here tonight. Enjoy it. Be awesome and build awesome. Good night, everybody.
Bye.